What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our first video here with a new channel name, Ty Drives, previously known as NNT Auto Reviews. And with a new name comes a new filming format, and we're going to showcase the new filming format with this 2021 Subaru Crosstrek in the top tier limited trim. Now, a little bit about the new filming format. So before, I used to do these crazy in-depth first-person reviews, and we're going to tone it down a little bit. We're going to take a little bit less time and just focus on really what's important and what makes each car by the features. And at the end, by popular request, we're going to take these cars out for a drive. So we're going to get straight into it, and we're going to start on the front with the headlamps. Now, in the limited, you get full LED units, your LED daytime running lights. You also have fog lights down below. And you notice you have this pretty rugged trim around the front bumper and around the wheel arches down the side, and you even see a lot more on the rear. And that's kind of what makes the Crosstrek a little bit different than just the Impreza wagon. Taking a look at the hood, we have some pretty cool creases that go on the side. Up at the top of the windshield, you can see the cameras for the eyesight. We have limited specific wheels here. Really neat design. I really like these wheels. 18 inches alloys, of course. Taking a look down the side, we have our mirrors. We can flip around so you can see the LED turn signals in there. We have blind spot warning and heating on the mirrors too. Smart key entry on the two front door handles. Roof racks with crossbars are installed up top with the sunroof, the shark fin antenna, and a spoiler. Now, this car is used, believe it or not. It's got about 6,000 miles on it, so just keep that in mind. The car's got a little bit of dirtiness here and there. Taking a look back here at the rear lights, we have partial LED tail lamps back here. Again, you could see more of the rugged design for the rear. Got our badging back here, parking sensors in the rear only, a nice rugged loading tray there. It's got some badging back here with the symmetrical all-wheel drive Subaru and the Crosstrek. We also have the trunk release and reversing camera back there as well. Now, taking a look under the hood, there are actually 3 different engines you could choose from. Now, new this year is the engine that we have here, and it's a little bit more of a powerful motor by popular request by customers. It's a 2.5 liter flat 4, and I believe it's the same one they use in the bigger Outback, so you obviously have more power. The basic engine is a 2 liter flat 4. You can also choose to get this one, as you see here, and there's also a hybrid option available as well. And I'll put all the power figures in a little screen down below at the bottom of the screen, so you could see all of those power figures. But I believe this is right about 184, 185 horsepower, so pretty good amount of power for the car of this size, and we'll see how it does on the road in just a bit. As in traditional Subaru fashion, super easy motors to work on. You can see the engine oil filters right there. Have the engine oil dipstick and no engine cover, so pretty cool. Alright, so we're going to start the interior portion of this video out back with the trunk, and we're going to make our way forward to the rear seats and then finally the front seats, and then we'll take it out on a drive. But in the cargo area of the Crosstrek, you could really see this is why you would buy the Crosstrek versus some other sedan. You kind of get more room in the rear height-wise. And if you need even more room, Subaru, of course, makes the Outback. They're still good with making wagons, which are pretty awesome cars, if you ask me. Got a nice all-weather mat back here with the Subaru branding. You got the cargo shading. You can also fold the seats 60/40 if you need more room. There's lights back here and some grocery bag hangers. And if you open up the cargo floor, you can see you have a spare tire back here. So grab handle right up top. Just pull the trunk right on down. Making our way into the back seats. Pretty nice back here, and actually pretty roomy as well. Some nice materials, some carbon fiber mimic trim. You have your door handle, your window switch. You even have a speaker back here. Nice use of this. I don't even know if it's actual leather or leatherette, but it's a very nice material, kind of drilled right here with some nice orange stitching. And you'll see that orange stitching and sort of these orange accents throughout the interior. As you can see, even in the drilled holes in the inside, they are this sort of orange color. So the front seat is adjusted to a normal driving position for my 5'10" self, and I have a couple of inches of legroom back here. You'll even have enough room back here to have a center passenger if you need to for a little bit longer trips. There's a armrest that you can fold down as well. You have lighting up here and grab handles to either side. All right, and finally the front cabin, which is most important since obviously that's where you'll be spending the time in, and it's very nice up here. It really is a pretty nice cabin up here. Now, I believe this generation Crosstrek came out in 2017 or 18. Don't quote me on that. It's either one of those years. And we did a video on that when it first came out. I was like 18 years old. But it's very much the same inside, just a few subtle improvements. But those improvements kind of go a long way. On the door panel up here, we have the same trim as out back. All of your window controls, mirror controls as well. Harman Kardon audio system. I believe there's 8 speakers, a bottle holder, a little bit of storage. Our air vent over here, and some of our controls that we could shut on and off, such as our traction control and our auto start stop, and our blind spot. You could shut all that stuff off if you'd like. A little fuse box over here, and maybe you could get away with using it. A little bit of storage. You have our telescoping steering wheel control there. Very nice design for the seats, and they're also pretty comfortable. We have 6-way power adjustments. I'll hop in and check out the rest. All right, so here's the key fob. Pretty nice standard premium key fob for Subaru. You have the lock, unlock. The unlock is actually the Subaru emblem, trunk release, and the panic alarm. Of course, it has push button start, so you just press the button there. It'll start right up. So on the steering wheel, pretty nice leather wrap steering wheel. You can see you have the orange on the inside. You have all of your audio, media, phone controls, voice commands on this side, and then you also have some buttons over here to configure the center screen. And you also have some sort of adaptive cruise control settings, steering assist, and then different modes on there. We have the little, the nice airbag cover. We have paddle shifters for the CVT transmission. And I'm actually happy to announce that Subaru still offers a manual for this car, for the lower 2 trim levels, which is really awesome. Manual transmissions seem to be dying a little bit. We have our stalks either side for your lights and turn signals, and our wipers over there. Nice gauges up here, configurable with these buttons here, so I'll go quickly through them. So just some various things, trip information, tire pressures, all that good stuff. The upper dash is pretty nice. You have some stitching on the passenger side, and you also have this screen up here. I'm not quite sure if you can see it because of the light, but you can also change between the different things that you see in that screen too, with the info button right here. So we could go through those quick. You display your radio, some trip settings, a clock, and it kind of goes back to this driver's assistance screen. We, of course, in this car have the nicest alliteration of the new Subaru Starlink system. This one has the built-in nav. It has the top package where it comes with the sunroof, the Harman Kardon sound, and the built-in nav. So you can see right here with the map, has the built-in nav. Very nice. Very smooth alliterations there. We have the home button and all of our apps over here. Quick home button, all of your radio volume and tune knobs. Very simple climate control. Single zone but automatic. You have your temperature on this rotary, your mode where you want the air to blow on this rotary, and the fan speed in the center. We have our hazards there. Little storage cubby down here. We have the gear selector for the Lineartronic CVT transmission, the heated seat controllers for the front, and X mode button, which is kind of like your off-road button, a couple of cup holders, and your manual parking brake. So it's good to see that. We have a nice center console here, which we can open up, have some power inlets, a couple of USBs, and a 12 volt. We have a lockable glove box, pretty decent amount. It's kind of like a bin style. Also optional, kind of an accessory on this car, is this mirror. It comes with the garage door home links and the auto dimming and the compass. Up here on your center stack, you have some buttons where you can shut off your lane departure warning, your front assist, and we also have the lighting controls. Speaking of your sunroof, it's a decent size, and obviously you have the controls over here, one for tilt and one for slide. You have the visors up here with the mirror and light. And at this point in the video, I think you get a pretty good overview of what this I almost said Outback, but the Crosstrek is like. You know, it's a pretty premium car for this segment, and really not a bad price for these cars new, especially on the used market. These cars are so reliable. It really kind of doesn't matter if you buy them new or used. So at this point, let's see how this car drives. Okay, so setting off in the 2021 Crosstrek Limited. We're gonna go down the hill here. We're gonna see how the turning circle is, and we're gonna get on some back roads, do a little bit more of higher speed driving, maybe like 45-50 miles an hour, and then we'll get it onto a nice curvy road with some bumps so we could feel out the handling and suspension. So now, if we get any weird looks from any people on the road, you're gonna know why, and I'm gonna tell you. It's because I have a GoPro strapped to my head and I look like an idiot. But right here's a good spot to test the turning circle. And it does pretty good. It's about average. No complaints there. Now, I have to tell you guys, me being a car guy, I'm going to complain a little bit about Subaru's CVT transmission and how much I wish this particular car was a manual. However, I can say I drove this car just a little bit before I strapped the GoPro to my head, and Subaru seems to have done a pretty good job refining the CVT that they have. So turning onto this main road here, we'll be able to see, get up to about 45-50 miles an hour, hopefully, depending on traffic. And maybe if we're lucky, we'll get it up to 45. However, I can tell you that it's, at least at this speed, it's pretty comfortable. The ride is pretty nice. There's another Crosstrek in the Sport trim, it looks like. And just to remind you guys, we do have the new 2.5 liter Boxer 4, which has 185 horsepower. So first year for this motor, although it's a pretty well-known motor for Subaru. They put it in the Outback, the Legacy thing, larger vehicles like that in Subaru's lineup. So So yeah, road noise, wind noise is pretty normal. Really, the steering is pretty direct actually. There's not a lot of steering feel as you'd expect from a car like this, but it's, you know, it's actually pretty good. So now we're gonna get here in onto the back road, and we'll give it a little acceleration going up the hill and see how this new 4-cylinder performs. So going 25, I'm just gonna mash the throttle and see what happens. So not too bad. Definitely the Subaru Crosstrek now has the power that it deserves. I've never driven the Crosstrek with the 2-liter 4-cylinder or even the hybrid, so I can't comment on how that does, but this motor is definitely enough power for this car. So this road will take us a little bit to some windies, and it's also kind of a good alliteration of a New England road. It's kind of rough, kind of wavy, but it's a good road to test the cars out. And that's kind of a nasty bump right there in any other car, but this has a really comfortable suspension to it, and it soaked it up very nice. You know, there's no jarring or anything from the suspension at all. Yeah, this motor is more than adequate for city and back roads driving. Obviously, there's a little bit of body roll like you'd expect from a kind of lifted wagon like this car is, but it takes the corners pretty nicely. Section right here is a pretty bumpy section. I'm trying to hit all of the bumps that I can to feel out the suspension. You can see the lane departure warning went on. It's a very comfortable ride. Another thing that's very comfortable with this car is the seats. I know I mentioned it before, but very comfortable seats. Good amount of lumbar, although you can't adjust the lumbar in this car. They give you a good amount as it is. Up here in Connecticut, Subaru's quite the popular brand, since mostly all their cars except for the BRZ are all-wheel drive. So Subarus are super popular up here. You'll see lots and lots of Crosstreks, Outbacks, and especially Foresters here. So it's super popular up in New England, and for a good reason. This is a really good car. And we'll turn to this back road and we'll give it one more acceleration up the hill, kind of make sure nobody's behind us, and we'll kind of do it from a dig. So no boosted launch or anything, just straight from brake pedal to gas. Yeah, so it's plenty of power. Once it gets up into the rev range, the motor gets a little bit loud, as you'd expect from a car like this, but you know, it's plenty of power. It actually sounds pretty good, the flat 4. So what's my verdict on the Crosstrek? Now, having seen all the features that this car comes with and driving it, I think it's a really comfortable car. It's got a great amount of features, especially in this limited trim. You know, and it's just a really great commuter car. Good looks, decent handling. Not a driver's car by any means, but it's a solid car. And I would recommend to anybody who wants a four-wheel drive car that's got good gas mileage, that has plenty of tech and amenities. I think this is a great car for you, and it's also got all-wheel drive like you would kind of need up here in the Northeast. So thank you guys for watching. Again, I'm Tyler from Ty Drives, now new channel name and everything like that. So I hope you enjoy the new channel format, and I hope you stick with us here at Ty Drives.